He was a man of power, owner of factories, estates, living in an old Savannah mansion where every tree in the garden seemed to bow its branches to him. People respected him for his determination, his impeccable reputation, his word. Some feared him. But everyone knew one thing: for his daughters, he was more than a father, he was a fortress. They were his pride, the only thing that could awaken in him a softness he hid from the world. When a new housemaid named Laura appeared in the home, he felt an inexplicable unease almost immediately. She didn't look suspicious, on the contrary, she was quiet, almost invisible. Too silent. Too tired. But in her eyes, if you managed to catch them for even a second, there was a story. Not just trouble, but a past she carried like an illness, with no hope of being cured. She worked neatly, quietly, even a little too diligently. The maids whispered that she stayed in the children's rooms in the evenings, though she claimed she was just checking that everything was in order. Then strange things began to happen. The girls said that at night someone would sit by their beds, singing unfamiliar lullabies, soft, old, as if from another time. The security saw nothing, the cameras were clean. The house was silent, but beneath that silence hummed a tension. One day he came home earlier than expected. His footsteps down the hallway were muffled by the carpets, as always. He went upstairs and, passing the nursery, heard a voice. Not alarming, not frightening, warm, steady, almost forgotten. He opened the door slightly. Laura was sitting on the floor in the half-light. The older daughter had her arms around Laura's neck, the younger held her hand. She was telling them a story, simple but not the kind read from books. This was a story only a mother tells. The words, almost a whisper, the tone, filled with a love that cannot be faked. He froze. And suddenly everything became clear. Not at once, not rationally, not in his usual, logical way. But deeper. By instinct. By a heart he thought had long been dead to such revelations. The next morning, he ordered a discreet investigation through his own connections. Archives, old records, one forgotten lawyer. The puzzle began to take shape. And there she was, Laura. The very woman he had been with back in his youth, when he could still choose with his heart, not his head. He had left when his family pressured him, when his father told him, "She's not right for you." He believed it. He destroyed everything. She gave birth. He refused her. Then, legal battles, lawyers, and in the end, official custody in his hands. Money, power, everything was on his side. She disappeared. As if she had died to the world. And now she had returned. Not for revenge. Not to reproach him. Just to be near. Even a little. Even in the shadows. Even as a housemaid. He looked at her differently now. Not as a servant. Not as a problem. But as the mother of his children. As the woman whose life he had once broken, and who, despite it all, was still capable of love. The girls were drawn to her, with the pure intuition only children have. They didn't know the truth, but they felt it. A kinship you cannot hide. Blood you cannot deceive. He didn't know how to make it right. But for the first time in years, he felt he had to try. From that day forward, everything changed. Laura no longer hid. He seated her beside him at dinner, under the astonished gazes of the staff. He introduced her to the family. Silently, without explanations. Simply making it clear, she was now part of this home. Not perfect. Broken. But real. The one who had always belonged here. And the girls laughed. Both of them. Truly. For the first time in many years, the house no longer echoed with emptiness, but with the voice of family. Quiet, fragile but alive.